say good morning, but
It's almost 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
well, it's good morning to me. I just woke up.
Oh, well, good evening. Your vampire ass. Can I come in? Body halfway into the fucking front door already.
It was just like, I just wanted to make sure, okay? Because what if you're like, no, and I'm like, oh, okay, goodbye then, and I'm just gonna go back home.
You're already like halfway in.
You still can't get over that halfway in.
No, I don't know. That shit was hilarious to me.
Hello, everybody. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, you're kicking this off? Oh, by all
Yeah.
means. Yeah, go for it.
Woo! Alright. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Creepy Caffeinated Chronicles. For the people that don't know, Daisy got me a picture of Invincible, and he's blushing. Because she asked me, she texted me earlier who my favorite character from Invincible was. I should have said Omni-Man. You probably would have printed out that picture of him crouching, huh?
There were so many of him double
With his
cheeked
ass
up.
off. Yeah, you should have.
Anyways.
I have one of these too, and I haven't used it in like forever. Now I'm gonna abuse that power again because I would always print out pictures of like album covers because I was too broke to actually buy stickers.
Nice.
I found mine the other day abandoned, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta print it out. Oh, I should show you my Gojo one.
We're like in the middle of an episode, and she wants to show me the Gojo one.
You think if we started the podcast like way back then, things would have been different?
I feel like we didn't fuck with each other as much back then too.
I fuck with you. You just didn't like me.
You know what?
You had issues. You had things. You had reasons.
I was like fresh out the church. All right, hated everybody.
You had reasons.
I had reasons. Now you're like the homie.
Yeah.
You're the best friend.
No homegirl, but yeah.
I know, right? It's fine. Daisy and Nicole are the homegirls. You're the homeboy.
I'll take it.
You can be the homegirl, though. I'll be like, I need you to lock in. I need you to... You know? And then you'll be like, yes, sis.
Dude, say the word and, like, if you want me to go, like, cosplaying, like, a gender bent somebody, like, I'll fucking do it. In a heartbeat. Like, I'll gladly...
Gender bent Momo!
I'll cosplay Turbo Granny or the grandma from Dawn to Dawn. I'll so gladly do it.
Granny Seiko?
Yeah.
Do it.
I'll have, like, little tight shorts on the bottom of the
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'll do the whole
That's
thing.
not what I was expecting.
No, I'm yeah.
Just like, okay. No, but speaking of sexy cosplays, there's a hentai convention happening in Vegas right now.
And we weren't invited.
We didn't go. Jonas Scott's there, the voice actor for Legoshi. Yeah, I was just surprised to see him at a hentai convention.
I'm surprised they have hentai conventions.
There's actually one in San Diego.
God, that probably has to smell so bad. I'm just imagining
I've never been. I actually really wanted to go. When I was with my ex at the time, I was like, we should go. And he's all like, no. He's all like, I don't think I can handle it. And I was just like...
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean by that? I never got an answer. I want to go.
I wouldn't mind going, but I feel like it'd be the equivalent of like an anime convention where like just there's gonna be guys who just don't shower or who are like touchy. Yeah.
At least the one that I know of. There's also one that's not in San Diego, I think, and it's close by. And there's like a whole like I was looking at the map because I followed the account, and then like there's like this whole section where you can just be topless.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, oh.
Alright. So
Okay.
Out in the open, alright.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I free the nipple, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't blame him. Anyways, everybody, welcome back. Oh, God. Cut that out.
Which part? The part that we just talking about.
My word mumble. My word jumble.
No, I'm keeping that boy.
No!
Oh, I'm keeping it in.
No! Anyways, welcome back, everybody, for Creepy Caffeinated Chronicles. I'm your host.
Whatever.
Ray.
Okay. I was like,
I had to think. I was like, what am I called?
Well, no, we've talked about it before in the podcast too. Where I think when you started getting comfortable with using like Denise again.
Yeah, Ray and Denise.
So it's like you can pick however you want.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'll go with my first name. I'll go by my like 20 aliases that I fucking have online.
Sir Butters.
My TikTok alias, I'll go by that too. People just say strongest, and that's it. I'm like, alright.
You know what? That's actually so fucking cool. What? That being your nickname.
Well, strongest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You alone are the honored one?
It's such a weird little niche community now. I kind of like it.
Mm-hmm. Every time I see you pop up, I always repost it. I was like, that. I have to. What's it called? Oh, shit, I was gonna say something else too.
Oh, you're doing this intro.
I'm doing this intro?
Yeah, you're still in it.
Ah, shit. Alright. I was gonna talk about... Oh, yeah. So, like I was saying, I have been reconnecting with this old friend from high school. And, like, he called me by a nickname that, like, nobody has called me, like, in years. And I was just, like, completely taken back by it. It's dumb. It's like a simple nickname that, like, anybody can call me. But, like, I was just, like, completely taken aback that he, like, called me that. And another nickname that I was given is Denny. And everything. Like, yeah, he'll call me Denny. And only he called me Denny, and only another friend from when I was in the church would call me Denny. Or he would, like, make it, like, a little song. Like, he would be like, oh, hi, Denny Den Den, or, like, you know, dumb shit like that. But, like, he called me Denny, and we were playing Phasmophobia, and then he's all like, oh, Denny, he's like, I died. And I was like, wait, what? Like, because I was, like, not the fact that he died, but, like, the fact that, like, you know, like, he called me Denny, and it was just, like, I don't know, like, I was just, like, kind of, like, holy shit. It's been, like, so long since I've heard that nickname.
It's like your Winter Soldier phrase. Like, just...
It was, like, dude, it was, like, low-key PTSD. I was like, what?
What the fuck?
What? Flashbacks.
Yeah.
For real. Anime flashbacks, like, cue the Sakura blossoms and shit like that.
Did you...
Contemplating over a hill.
Did you ever have, like, a nickname that you tried to give yourself in high school? Like, that you really wanted to stick, but it just never stuck?
No.
No? Oh, good for you.
You?
Oh, yeah.
What was it?
Oh, yeah. It was...
What was it?
It was back when I really started getting into, like, fairy tale. They hadn't finished the, like, the Eclipse arc, or, like, it wasn't far, right? Like, it wasn't really far. It was still using, like, the first animation that they had. So, I was like, I'm gonna try to get the nickname Salamander stuck to me.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, it was...
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
It lasted a week, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna drop this.
No.
It was
There was a name that I really did like a lot that I wanted to change my name to when I was like 12. I'm not gonna say what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I can...
No, I'm not gonna say what
Oh, come on!
No, it's stupid. I got it. It's a name of a character from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
If I can say my embarrassing name, you can say yours. This is
my god.
This is a semi-safe space.
A semi-safe space. Alright, when I was younger, I told my mom, I was like, I want to change my name to Max. Don't ask me why. I just thought it was lit, especially because of that one girl that was in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
That's not a bad
I low-key had a crush on her, and I was like, I want to change my name to her character.
Okay. Yeah, that was not like an embarrassing fucking
That
name.
was fucking embarrassing, because when you were asking me about a name that I wanted to stick, I was just like thinking, and I was like, holy shit, I had that. Probably not as bad as Salamander, but like...
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Oh my god.
No, no, dude.
There's also another nickname that people call me that only my sister really calls me now, which is just like Menace. And I've explained that to you, right?
Well, yeah, but it's also like people. If anyone ever hears like the word like Denise or Dennis, like they'll be like, "Oh, like Dennis the Menace."
Yeah, I also hate telling old people what my name is, because they always say the same fucking thing. I have a niece named Denise. Or I guess you can call me or something de nephew, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's fucking old.
At that point, if they ever say that, just be like, nah, I'm Max. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. I used to hate my name. Now I like it. It's okay. My mom picked it out. She would always be like, I chose your name. Like, she was like...
I was like, alright, dude.
Like, you're never gonna change it. I chose it. And I was like, okay.
I mean, you could change it.
I can change it if I want to. I don't want to, though. Who's gonna go first?
That's a good question. How did we always decide? Who went last time on...
Last time I went first. Well, no, not the last time for the Creepy Caffeinated.
That's why else. Well, you went last time on that?
No. I don't remember. But yeah, so regarding my story, I found one and I was gonna stick to it because it reminded me a lot of another creepypasta. And then I tried looking into that creepypasta and I was looking at the creepypasta website because even though it was supposed to be Reddit, I was like, oh, it reminds me of this other popular creepypasta. I had to go to the creepypasta actual website.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking and then it says reading duration 47 minutes long and I was like, no. Absolutely not. I'm not gonna fucking read that and something else. No. Anyways, so the Reddit story I was going to talk about was about... I really liked it, but I felt like it was a little short. It was about... I'm just gonna give a little synopsis. It was about this guy that went to a yard sale and he bought a PlayStation 2 off of a woman. And the reason as to why she was selling this PlayStation 2 is because her son went missing 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So he's all like, alright, R.I.P., sorry, whatever. And he's never been found since, so he's all like, alright, whatever. And he goes home, and there's, no games at all. It's just the PS2. But he's looking through, the memory files, and he's, plugging it in, and then he sees that there's, a save file. And I think it said, looking for mom. And, he clicks on it. Turns out that the map in the game looks exactly like the map from his neighborhood. So he's, just walking around and, chilling, on the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then he, had the thought, I'm gonna go to my house. So he goes on the little map in the game to his house. And then it basically said, oh, go to the tree in the park. So he goes to the tree in the park and then he sees a photo of a guy that looks familiar. And then, he plays it again, and then he, sleeps on it. And then he ends up going to, a bakery or some shit like that. And then he sees the guy that was in the photo in the file. So he tells them, and then the guy's all, take me to your house, right now. So he takes him to, the house. He looks at it and everything, and then he's all, my mom, got kidnapped by my dad, and she's been missing for, fucking years. I forgot how it ended, but I was all this reminds me a lot.
Oh, come on! You can't just fucking do that! Don't tell me an intriguing story and just be like, yeah, this is... Wow, okay.
It happened. It ends with the guy taking the PS2 and everything, and he leaves and he never talks to the guy again, and to this day he doesn't know what happened. And I checked and everything, and it was created yesterday. So there's no updates to it, even if I wanted to give an update. So it reminded me a lot of the infamous creepypasta Ben Drowned, because it also has to do with buying an old what was it? I think Majora's Mask.
Mm-hmm.
From a yard sale as well, and then finding out that it's corrupted and that this game is haunted. And it also reminded me of when I was younger, and I was just a wee 11 to 12-year-old, and I would simp for these characters, and I would look at fan art, and I would read fan fiction, and it just everything just went spiraling again, and then I was like, yeah, I can't cover this.
You know what? I guess in return I'll give you a little mini creepy story too.
Uh-huh.
Before we get into all, because I've just been in bed rotting in my bed, for 2 hours in the morning.
That's so real.
And
as you should.
Yeah, and my TikTok feed was just full of creepy shit. And it was this photographer who had an appointment to take pictures inside a house, because I think they were selling the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to every room, he's taking a photo, and he meets the owner, and the dude is giving out some crazy creepy vibes, right? smiling weird at him. I mean, he's recounting the story, like, in his own way. So he's like, creepy smile. He's just like, he's just weird. And so after the photographer takes the last photo upstairs, he's like, all right, I think we're done here. I'm going to go get the photos ready, edit them, and then I'm going to upload them to the website. And the owner's like, you forgot one more place. And he's like, yeah, what's that? The basement. He's like,
what did he say?
He's like, okay.
Absolutely not.
He's like, okay, show me. And the owner just kind of opens that door, like, really creepily. And the photographer's like, no, I'm not doing it. And so he just leaves the house at that point. He's like, I'm just going to go get these up, and that's it. He gets in his car. Or I think before he gets in his car, he's like, shit, I forgot the lens cap for my camera.
Fuck the lens cap.
He's like, I gotta go back. Those things are fucking... whatever.
No, it's just a lens cap.
I know, but, like, people, like, photographers are... they care about their equipment.
They're very anal about their stuff. I don't blame them.
So he goes back, knocks on the door, and he goes, hey, I forgot my lens cap. I need to go back upstairs. He's like, oh, it's not up there. I'm like, where's it at? The basement. He's like, I'm not doing that. He's like, all right, I'm just going to go. And so he leaves. And so he contacts, I think some of the, like, the seller of the house. Like, not the owner, but, like, the, what do you call it?
The realtor?
The realtor. And he's like, hey, like, I'm sending you the photos so you can put them up. He's like, but I had a weird interaction with the owner. Like, he's just fucking weird. Like, he gives off some creepy vibes. Like, I think you should maybe call the cops and, like, maybe get a look on him. And the realtor's just like, you're meeting a woman.
The fuck?
And that's it.
What?
So, it was fucking creepy as shit. Like, I was like, oh, dude, no. Fucking basement, dude. Ugh.
Speaking of us being best friends, this Reddit story is from r/scary stories.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
And it's titled, My Best Friend is Starting to Scare Me. I was about 13 years old at the time. I lived a relatively normal life with both my parents. Our green 2-story house sat on a quiet suburban street in the quiet town in Pennsylvania. The neighbors on my block were very friendly and social. If one of them were outside, we would greet one another. A neighbor we would usually see out is a man who lived a house away, Lee. Lee lived with his wife, Janet, and they would always spend most of their time gardening. It was always inevitable seeing one of them working out on their front lawn. Their yellow 1950s-style house with the carport driveway was always buzzing with activity from the couple. My father lived a few houses away from them as a boy. He said they always kept busy and that their house had not changed much since. My best friend Daryl lived across the street with his mom, grandfather, and brother Brian. We both went to the same school and would often hitch a ride with Brian, who already had a license. We had 1 or 2 class periods together, but we would see each other at lunch. Most weekends we would hang out, mostly playing video games or making trips to the library. I know it sounds lame, but it was within walking distance and we would often check out comic books or books for our school projects. We knew it was really good when Brian would be home and would drop us off at the movies or the mall. If we weren't hanging out, we would text each other, chatting about what was going on, the stupid shit we found funny, or dreading school the next day. Both my parents worked, my dad being a police officer and my mom worked night shift as a nurse at the hospital. So cliche, what in the world? So I would spend most of my time talking to Daryl through the headset of texting if he wasn't able to come over. One evening, I was home alone. My dad had already left for work a little, so I had the house to myself. I played video games in the living room and talked to Daryl on the headset. A loud, heavy knock at the door nearly made my heart jump out of my chest. I set the controller down and made my way to the window next to the door. I peered out the blinds to see a police officer standing on the front step. I cracked my door open and greeted him. Good evening. Do you know if your neighbor in number 6 is home? 6 was about 2 houses away, and a kind old lady named Lorraine lived there. I shook my head no, and the officer thanked me for before walking away, and I went back to gaming. The following days were uneventful, just going to school and playing games after homework. Things started to take a bit of a turn that Thursday. I woke up and waited on the stoop for Brian and Daryl to pick me up, but they never showed. Some time went by and the garage door never opened. I figured Daryl must have overslept or was sick, so I walked down the end of the street and waited for the bus. Daryl usually texted me if he wasn't going. Again, maybe he overslept, but I was able to take the bus and get to school on time. By lunchtime, I sent my friend a message saying, "What's up?" I hadn't heard from him for the rest of the day, which was different. Even if there were days he wouldn't feel like texting, he would at least reply until I took the hint that he didn't feel like talking. Each class we had together, I would ask the teacher if I could take the work he missed home for him. On the way home, I shot Daryl a text saying that I had the work he missed and that I was going to drop it off. No answer. I got home and walked across his house. I went up to the door and knocked. For about 3 minutes, I tried the doorbell and waited another 3 minutes. I reached into my pocket for my phone to see if he sent me any messages, but they were only ones from my mom. My bad. I opened the hanging mailbox next to the door and slid the folder of schoolwork into it before heading home. My mom was off, so we ate and spent the evening together before bed. I checked my phone to see no response from Daryl. I thought I would have seen an okay or thanks from him, but that wasn't the case. I rode the bus to school again, still not hearing from Daryl. Part of me was starting to get annoyed, but I was also starting to get concerned. I figured I wouldn't bug him that day and went on with my day. After school, I got home to see my mom off to work. After she left, I walked across the street to give Daryl the work he missed that day. I couldn't quite pinpoint it, but something felt off as I walked across to his house. It didn't get any better when I opened his mailbox to see the work from yesterday still in it. I contemplated knocking on the door, but ultimately decided against it as I didn't want to be annoying. That evening, I would make myself comfortable and play video games. I had no concept of time as I became extremely involved in the game. I grew tired of playing and let myself get killed off. I checked my phone to see it was about 10 o'clock. A notification caught my eye. I flipped open to the phone and I clicked the message box to see that Daryl texted me at around 8:47. "Hi," was his only response. I'm sorry. I just...
Hi.
The way that I said it just reminded me of, like, Kirby. How he's all like, "Hi. Boyo." Hi. This made me a little aggravated, but deep down, my anxiety started to grow. Maybe he was in some serious trouble or has some kind of explanation. "How are you?" I typed back. After 4 minutes, he replied, "Good." "Why haven't you been in school? A minute passed. Sick. Did you get your homework? Yeah. Are you feeling better? No. There really wasn't much conversation. Daryl wasn't the type to write out a novel of a response, but his one-worded answer seemed off. "Will you be back on Monday?" I questioned. "No," was his response. The conversation died as soon as it began, and I was left with more questions than answers. Not feeling tired anymore, I decided to play my game just a little more. 1 o'clock rolled around and I finally called it quits. I had grown quite tired and decided to go to bed. Before climbing into bed, I noticed a light across the street at Daryl's. Curious, I tiptoed to the window and peeked out. It was the upstairs bedroom facing my house. This would have been Brian's room. The blinds were drawn, but I could see the shape of someone pacing back and forth. I stayed there watching for about 7 minutes as the person continued walking back and forth. I muttered, "What the fuck?" to myself as I crawled into bed. I woke up forgetting about the night before it dawned on me once I was fully awake. The day was uneventful. I spent the day in front of the TV or on my laptop. My mom was off again that evening, so we hung out and watched movies. Once it got late, my mom decided to retire for the evening, and I hung out on the couch. I had my laptop, so I stayed up playing on it. Around 1 a.m, I felt a vibration coming from the couch. I pulled my phone from under me. I had received a text from Daryl. "Shouldn't you be in bed?" it read. Unsure of what to think, I sent him a message back saying, "What the fuck?" Which is, I feel like it's not that crazy because sometimes I do that to you guys. When I notice that you guys are active and I'm like, go to sleep, like what the fuck? The lamp in the living room was on, so maybe he noticed that. I got off the couch and walked over to the window. I peeked through the blinds and saw a light on upstairs. This time the silhouette of a person was visible. Not walking back and forth, but just standing at the window staring at my house and at me. It didn't move at all. I stood there for about 5 minutes watching back, and whoever it was didn't do anything. I had had enough and went to my room, creeped the fuck out. I peeked out my bedroom window. I shit you not, that person in the window was still in the same spot. I couldn't take it anymore and decided to turn my phone off for the night. Before I could hold down the power button, another message popped up. I can see you. A sudden wave of paranoia came over me as I dropped the phone and jumped into bed, covering my head with the blankets like a child. I had the worst time trying to fall asleep and didn't sleep until early in the morning once the sun was up. I felt watched. I didn't touch my phone all day. I avoided it like the plague and spent as much time with my parents as possible. I don't have any fear when my parents work the night shift, but tonight I did not want to be left alone. I spent most of my evening planted in front of the television. I didn't feel much like playing video games, so I stuck to flipping through the channels. I felt my eyes become heavy, and I laid my head to rest my eyes. I fell asleep on the couch. When I finally woke up, it was around 10 or so, and I decided to go to bed. I don't know how long I was out before my phone rang. It was super loud and made me jump. Groggy and rubbing my eye, I picked it up. "Hello?" I muttered into the phone. Silence. Before I hung up, I can hear breathing on the other end. I once again asked hello and heard myself echo. Whoever it was hung up. I assumed it was a wrong number, and then I noticed a caller ID. It was Daryl. My gut told me to call him back. Why would he call me this late? Wanting to get to the bottom of whatever was going on, I called the number back and waited. As I awaited an answer, something caught my ear. I heard a faint sound of a ringtone coming from somewhere. I sat up, trying to listen to where it was coming from. My stomach knotted when I realized it was the guest room right next to mine. Just then, someone finally answered the phone. A deep, raspy voice of a man answered, "You're not alone," before ending the call. All the blood drained from my face and nausea hit me like a truck. I felt the urge to vomit and didn't know what to do. My brain told me to lock the door, but my body refused. As I sat in shock, I thought I was gonna say shit. I wouldn't blame him either.
Just gonna shit it myself.
Dude, I would. Dude, wouldn't you not feel fucking scared?
That would be scary, but I don't know if I'd be scared enough to like shit myself.
He was 13 at the time.
Because then my main priority would just be that.
Imagine
instead.
calling your friend that's been acting creepy for the past couple of days and then hearing a ringtone right next to your room.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know. But it's...
And you're 13.
Maybe I shit myself.
Where is it at? Okay, as I sat in shock, I heard the creaking of floorboards and something snapped in me that sent me running to the door. I locked it and then moved a nearby drawer against it. I heard the sound of a door opening. Footsteps walked out and across the floor of the hallway and stopped at my bedroom door. Whoever was at the other side of the door, when he found it locked, I heard him say, come out, wherever you are."
Ew.
I know. I had to cringe just reading that. This made every hair of my body stand up, and he began to pound on the door. The thud against the door made me collapse. The intruder violently banged on my bedroom door. I crawled back against my bed and felt the phone I had dropped. With trembling hands, I dialed 911. The intruder began wailing as he violently clobbered and kicked the door. His babbling was incoherent and almost inhumane. I don't think I ever heard any person make that kind of noise, the kind of noise he did. An operator finally picked up and I explained what was going on. She stayed on the line and tried to keep me calm, but by this time, I had pissed myself. Oh, I wasn't that far off. and was all but hyperventilating. The wait for the police was the worst, as I feared the psychopath would come into this room at any minute. I crawled to my closet and hid it. The operator reassured me that the police were on their way. I had to put my hand up to my ear to drown out the man's insane shrieking, which had only grown louder. I begged the operator to help me. The police were only 2 minutes away, and I prayed that they would come sooner. My vision started to blur as I had put my head between my knees to stop me from passing out. Just as I expected the door to come crashing in, there was silence. I waited for what seemed like hours in the closet, expecting him to come into the room screaming, but nothing happened. He was just gone. I don't remember much of what happened next because I blacked out. I remember hearing a police officer calling for me and feeling safe at that point. He explained that the other officers were searching thoroughly and my parents were on their way. I was never so happy to see my parents. They were scared and my mom would not let me go. We found out the man had escaped before they arrived and they checked all around the street but found nothing. The neighbor Lorraine was found dead the night the policeman asked us if he heard from her. She was found decomposing in her house. The police discovered her headless body full of knives in the living room. Upon further investigation, they found her in the attic, and as for Daryl, his entire family was butchered.
What the fuck?
The person I saw staring out the window was the body of his grandfather. I was spared most of the details and honestly think that's for the better. According to police, the man hid out in Daryl's house after murdering the old woman. He killed Daryl's family while they slept and lived in their house for a few days. Both homes were wrecked, flipped over chairs, torn apart furniture, 1 or 2 broken TVs. The only thing stolen was Daryl's phone, and it wasn't long before my family and I moved to another state. The killer was never caught, and the case still remains open to this day. The man they were looking for was never identified. The only way they could assume it was connected was because of the violent manner in which he murdered his victims and the destruction of the homes he hid in. He snuck in, committed his horrible deed, and then slipped away into the night. I spent countless nights having nightmares and hearing his awful screams. After many years of therapy, coping, and self-defense lessons here and there, and moving in with my fiancé, I think my life is trying to finally return to normalcy. Well, I thought that until I got a call the other day. The number looked familiar, but I ignored it anyways, thinking it was a spam number. And then it clicked. It was Daryl's cell phone number. And that's it.
What the fuck? Well, at least we weren't far off that he would have... he pissed himself, basically, so...
I can tell the future, bro. My leg fell asleep. It wasn't as scary.
No, but...
It had cliche undertones, but it was good.
But then that kind of goes with a lot of these like Reddit stories where sometimes they're not as creepy, even though they claim it to be like really creepy.
I remember that there was one Reddit story. I forgot what it was, but I think it was one that I read and it was like really good and actually creepy, like super super creepy. That left us chills. I forgot which one it was though.
I remember you also read one that was like long and drawn out. I think it was like.
It was a Twitter one, huh?
No, I like that one.
We never finished it. I never did a part 2 for it.
No, I'm pretty sure you finished.
No, I didn't.
Dude.
I was rereading the episodes. I never finished. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You better get back on that shit.
I know. Don't embarrass me with the other long one. I don't remember which one you're talking about, but I don't want to know.
Damn. All right. I mean, I was also going back to, like, before we started the last episode again. I was, like, listening back on some of the episodes. Before I had reminded myself, like, right, we're doing, like, this episode, like, the Chronicles today. I was going back into the true crime. And I was looking back at the file that I had saved that I knew for a fact that when I was gonna do true crime again, I wanted to do this one specifically. I forgot about the photo of it, and it gave me fucking chills again.
Which one?
Oh, I can't tell you.
That's for next week?
That's for next week.
No!
Because I was... Oh, dude, the way they... Like, the police sketch of it, it creeps me out. There's no other way to describe it. It just creeps you out.
Does it creep you out in the way of, like, that drawing of that person that everybody has seen in their dreams but doesn't know who it is?
It's in a different way where it's like... No, because that's uncanny. That's uncanny valley kind of shit. This one's creepy in the sense of, like... It's just horrifying.
Ew, I just got chills thinking of that guy.
It was just like, who can be behind that drawing, you know? Just...
Okay, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
It's a...
It's a true crime?
Yeah, horrible individual, but
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Alright. This one comes from r/creepy stories. Before I even begin this one too, I had a different story.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, the one I was going to do has like 4 parts to it. I was just going to do part 1. And then, next time we do like another one, I was going to do the other parts. But I'm looking through it, I'm like, It's more just like something creepy to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the more I kept reading into it. Anyway.
Oh wait, I'm so sorry. Before you do that, let me just... Okay, the person... I can't tell who wrote this. Okay, never mind. I was going to shout out the person who wrote it, but I can't tell who wrote it.
Well, this one comes from front-competition 948 on Creepy Stories. I played a game with strange rules. It still haunts me. After weeks of sleepless nights, cramming formulas, and writing essays until our wrist ached, the final exam was over. Raj and I walked out of the examination hall with a shared sigh of relief. Our minds already set on the night ahead. While other kids in different towns might celebrate by hitting the movies or sneaking into frat parties, that wasn't an option here. Not in a town like ours. People didn't talk about much anymore, but we, over the years, teenagers, had vanished without a trace, even from schools. No signs, no suspects, just whispers and warnings passed down like folklore. Our parents imposed curfews, and the unspoken rule was simple. After dark, you stayed indoors. That was fine by us. We had a different plan. One that required nothing but a dimly lit room, snacks, and our gaming consoles. Raj had stumbled upon something interesting. A horror survival game called Nocturne Academy. Yeah, okay. What caught his attention was the familiarity of the school in its preview images. It looked exactly like our own. Dude, this is like our school, Raj had said, holding up the phone to show me the screenshots. I frowned. Maybe the devs based it off a real place. Raj shrugged. Only one way to find out. So we settled in for the night, controllers in front, energy drinks stacked up high, and the glow of the screen flickering in the dark. The game opened up with an unsettling image. Before you begin, remember the rules. 1. Do not look out the classroom windows after nightfall. 2. If you hear knocking at your locker, do not open it. 3. Never take the stairs after midnight. 4. If the lights flicker, hide immediately. 5. Never follow the laughter. 6. If you see someone identical to you, run. 7. If a player gets caught, they stay in the game. We laughed nervously. Man, they really want to creep us out, I said. Raj smirked. That's the whole point. We hit start. The game begins inside an empty classroom, desks covered in dust. A blackboard filled with faint scribbles of equations and lessons long forgotten. Raj controlled his avatar, the student wearing our school's uniform, while I controlled mine. The realism was unnerving, down to the graffiti on the desks and the old announcement speaker crackling with static. Damn, this is too accurate, I muttered. Raj nudged me. Let's explore. We moved through the hallways, which stretched unnaturally long. The lockers rusted and dented as if time had warped them. A chill ran down my spine. The clock on the wall had read 11:59 p.m. Then came the first test. The moment the clock struck midnight, a notification flashed on the screen. Level 1. Do not look out the classroom windows after nightfall. The classroom door creaked open behind us, and a whisper like wind flowed in. Raj's avatar stood closest to the window. I saw his fingers twitch on the controller. You think something's actually out there? He asked. Don't check, I warned, gripping my controller tightly. Just follow the rule. But curiosity got the better of him. His character turned slightly, just enough to peek. A grotesque, pale hand slammed against the window pane from outside. It wasn't human. Elongated fingers scraped against the glass, dragging downward. Raj swore loudly and jerked his controller, sending his character stumbling backwards. The creature, or whatever it was, lingered for a moment, then vanished into the darkness. Level cleared. We exhaled together, adrenaline coursing through us. The game wasn't messing around. The second level began in the hallway as we navigated the school's winding corridors. An eerie knocking sound echoed from Raj's locker in-game. Level 2. If you hear knocking at your locker, do not open it. Raj hesitated, his fingers hovering over the button. What if there's an item inside? I shook my head.
Oh my god.
Don't. Just
fucking
keep
Raj.
moving.
I swear to God.
Fucking Raj, dude. What an asshole. Alright. The knocking turned into desperate banging, then something whispering our names. Raj's face paled. We sprinted away, leaving the locker rattling in our wake. Level cleared. Each level brought fresh horror. The stairwells distorted into endless spirals when we attempted to use them past midnight. Flickering lights signaled something haunting us, forcing us into hiding under desks and inside janitor closets. Laughter echoed down the corridors, leading us towards shadowy figures that dissolved when approached. But the worst came when Raj's avatar turned a corner and stopped. Another version of him stood at the end of the hall, staring blankly. Level 6. If you see someone identical to you, run. Raj hesitated. His doppelganger smiled, a grotesque, unnatural strep of the lips. Run, Raj! I shouted. He slammed the joystick forward, sprinting in the opposite direction. The thing mimicked his every movement, steps silently. The chase lasted until we reached the final level. Level 7. If a player gets caught, they stay in the game. The final challenge: escape the school before sunrise. But Raj's doppelganger was still after us. The corridors twisted, leading us in loops. The walls decayed with each passing second, the faces of missing teenagers emerging from the peeling paint, their eyes hollow and lifeless. We reached the exit doors. I pushed forward. Raj was right behind me. Then something yanked him back. His avatar went stiff. A glitching error message flashed on the screen before his character collapsed. The game screen turned black. Game over. That was the last time I saw Raj. When I woke up, I wasn't at home. I was in a hospital. It told me I'd been found screaming in my room, game controller clenched in white-knuckled hands. I tried telling them what happened, that Raj was still in the game, but no one believed me. Weeks passed, the town forgot, just like it had forgotten the others. But I haven't. Because sometimes when I close my eyes, I still see the game screen burned into my vision. And in my peripherals, Raj's avatar lingers, watching, waiting. The game isn't over. That's it. That's all I got.
The fuck you mean the game isn't over?
The game isn't over. I don't
Is he gonna see his doppelganger and then have to run?
That would be interesting, but no.
Fucking Raj. I feel like that should only happen to him because he was not following the rules.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That man was...
Curiosity killed the cat.
Curiosity killed Raj.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang, that was really good. I like that one.
Thank you.
Imagine if I would have done the video game one. We would have had 2 video games.
I know, it would have been so great.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sorry.
You know what's even scarier? Fortnite. Fucking, we can't win for shit.
I know. I have a crown right now and I've been hesitant to play Battle Royale.
I was playing earlier and I was on a roll. Like, I wasn't winning, but I was getting, like, good kills. Mm-hmm. I was, like, top 10 every now and then, but then, dude, this Wi-Fi is just horrible.
I feel that.
It was, like, I couldn't even heal. Like, I would be pressing... I would be pressing my button and, like... It just wouldn't. My character's just standing still. Fucking Gojo and Crocs. Just standing still.
Gojo and Crocs. You got the Crocs?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I got the pink one and the white ones.
Oh, I only got the white ones. I want the pink ones.
I had the pink ones on Kirishima when we were playing. I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm like, yeah, he would definitely wear pink Crocs. I can see that.
Oh yeah, that's manly.
Yeah. It's manly.
I'm rewatching My Hero, and I'm at the part where they're about to battle Overhaul. They just entered the lair and everything. Well, I'm actually about to go into Kirishima and Fagum's fight.
Ah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
that whole arc was just really great.
Yes. Oh my god.
So
yes,
fucking good.
It's so good.
And I hate the fact that they just basically wasted Overhaul's character. Like, towards the end. I'm like, I preferred him being the main villain over Shigaraki, I won't lie.
You know what? I feel like that's valid too. But at the same time, I haven't fully caught up. So,
I haven't either, so I can't say fully, but from what I've watched...
We've just seen Shigaraki act like a little bitch so far. That's all we know.
Yeah. Like, I feel like for me, he doesn't take villainy seriously. He treats it like a game.
Well, yeah.
And then meanwhile, like, Overhaul's like, I'm gonna dismantle, like, the entire superhero population by taking away their fucking powers.
Like, Stain. Oh my god, Stain was such a good...
Dude, yes!
I feel like... You know what? I feel like he wasn't wasted because Stain was the reason all this shit started happening.
Mm-hmm.
Stain and All Might. Like, you have to admit, All Might is to blame for everything that has happened in My Hero. If he would have listened to, what's it called? What's his fucking name? His sidekick? All of this shit probably could have been avoided.
All Might had a sidekick?
Yeah. You've never seen season 4? You're talking about his sidekick, the one that can tell time. The one that can rewind. I forgot. Sir Night-Eye.
Sir Night-Eye.
Sir Night-Eye. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you would have listened to Sir Night-Eye then.
Yeah, if the million got the one for all, who knows what would have happened. Cool shit, that's what probably would have happened.
Yeah. Miria was such a funny character. I love him so much.
Such a cool dude.
He distracted Shigaraki with his cheeks.
I have never gotten that far. That's good to know.
I'm sorry, but it's because it's a meme. That's why. I got spoiled because it was a meme too.
Well, that makes sense.
It's like, how about these peaches or something like that, and then he like deadass shows his ass.
We had some far with him. Oh, dude! Speaking of like horror shit that we just went through and horror games, have you seen the trailer for Silent Hill F?
No. No, I have not.
Dude, it looks so... They gave a warning on Steam. If I can find it right now, hold on.
You want my live reaction or something?
Yeah, let me read it out for you right now.
Okay.
I'm just gonna read you the mature content description, right? Because for what we know so far, it takes place in Japan in the 1960s, and it's like in a made up town. And it just looks great. But the developers describe the content like this. The game contains depictions of gender discrimination, child abuse, bullying, drug-induced hallucinations, torture, and graphic violence. The game is set in Japan in the 1960s and contains... nope, I already read that. What the fuck? Oh, no, it contains depictions based on the customs and culture of that time. These depictions do not reflect the opinions or values of the developers or any individuals involved. If you feel uncomfortable at any point while playing, please take a break from playing or speak to someone you trust.
Damn.
From the developers themselves. This is gonna be fucking crazy to play.
It's a psychological horror.
Yep. For all systems, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC.
I might get it. I'm a little nervous. I might get it.
I'm gonna absolutely get it. If we could... Why don't we have like a caffeinated playing channel?
I'm down. That's like let's do Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia. We can live our Ghost Adventures dreams.
Oh my god, yes.
And they just released a new map too.
Silent Hill 2.
I just know that I can't carry in Phasmophobia yet. I'm still learning how to play.
Don't expect me to carry at all, cause
My friend Eddie can carry. He's really good at it. Honestly, but I'm at the point where I can play professional with other people that are also unprofessional. Cause it's like, once there's more people, it's not as bad. But if I've only played by myself twice, both times were on amateur. I was like, there's no way in hell you're gonna make me play this game on intermediate or higher. Cause like, Phasmophobia is a really cool game. At least with amateur, they give you like 5 minutes, I think, of prep time. So you have time to bring everything inside before there's a possibility of the ghost starting to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And you have this TV in the truck, and it's your sanity level, and you start at 100, and the more you're inside the house or the closer you are like in the ghost room, or depending on what ghost you have, your sanity can either drain quickly but it does start going down. So eventually, like, you'll have to take like some sanity medications, like, to bring your sanity back up. But the lower your sanity gets, the more likelihood the ghost is going to hunt. Or if you used any of the cursed items, your sanity will drop immensely, or it'll automatically start hunting. So it's a really cool game. And the maps are huge.
I mean, it is on sale right now. I probably will get it probably today. Just let it download. Because, like, since I took like a huge pay cut to get this job, like, I've just been struggling.
Oh no.
So it's like every now and then I'll be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and then paying bills. I was like, okay.
I feel that.
Like shit.
I feel that.
But right now I'm sort of comfortable with what I have right now, so I'll probably be getting it.
No, but going back to the maps, dude, there's a high school, there's a prison, and there's a hospital, a psych facility. And those maps are stupid huge. And the levels are amateur, intermediate, professional, I think, insanity,
Mm-hmm.
and I think nightmare. Nightmare's the worst. And I think for insanity and for nightmare, the screens are like broken. Like, you can't tell where the generator's at because sometimes the ghosts turn off the generator. You can't tell what your sanity is. Like, as soon as you walk in, like, if you're on professional, and as soon as you walk in, the ghost can start hunting.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So either you're screwed, especially like, because not only like you have to go to the rooms and find out where the ghost is hunting, you know, like where the ghost is active in. But there's times where the things I hate the most are when they're like hallway ghosts. Because it's literally just a fucking hallway. Like, where the fuck are you gonna go? As soon as you walk in, there's a fucking hallway. And there's been times where as soon as you walk in, that hallway is the one that's haunted. Like, that's the area that the ghost is haunting. So there's no way for you to escape.
Damn.
But it's a fun game. It's a fun game to play with friends for sure. I can't play it by myself though. Not that it's scary, because it's not scary. It's just that, like, it's not fun playing it by yourself.
Mm-hmm. You need people.
Yeah, and there's no jump scares, which is cool. That's one reason why I like the game. There's no, like, terrifying jump scares.
I want to get VR so bad to play, like, scary games too.
They have Phasmophobia VR.
Oh.
And that's what's terrifying to me. I was like, there's no way in fucking hell you can get me to play a scary game in VR.
I think there was, like, this exorcism game I wanted to get for VR, where it's like you're in this Mexican church, and I think you're there to learn something. You're there for teaching, and then, like, the whole church is just basically haunted, and then you need to, like, exercise something. And I remember looking at the video for it. I'm like, dude, just looking at it in VR, it would give me a heart attack.
Really?
I would have to. Damn, I saw it years ago. I would need to go find it. I don't remember the name of it right now. I could probably just be butchering the whole entire game right now, but I have no idea.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. There's also another game too that I've been seeing a lot on TikTok, and like the little characters look like the Android character, the character for like Android. Have you seen? Yeah. And then like apparently like you just have to like look for some stuff to sell, like these items, I guess, and then like I guess it's like haunted or like there's monsters inside. You have to like escape.
I think it's called RIPO, some shit like that.
Yeah, I think so too. There's been some funny fucking like, oh, this is a stinger machine that's like worth at least $3,000. Like, how do you know it's a stinger? Because I'm a woman. She just fucking walks away. But I guess they also have, like, for PC players that have like a camera, they have like eye detection. And like it's like hella funny because like these people be side-eyeing each other and stuff like that. Like, I guess the eye detection's like really cool. And I'm like, that's low-key kind of creepy, but at the same time that's pretty cool. Oh, and the only thing too with Phasmo is that it is so hard for you to start off the game. Because they give you no fucking items to work with.
So you're going in raw, basically.
Basically. I'll talk more about it, but we should probably end this episode. Because I don't want it to be too long.
It's like barely an hour, I think.
Probably, yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, no,
that is it.
Yeah,
These ghost stories were pretty cool.
Yeah.
I liked them.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the caffeine. Everybody stay caffeinated, stay creepy. And once again, this is Denise and Sir Butters. And have a nice day, have a nice night, a nice morning. Bye. Why was my outro too weird?
No. I was just like, I was trying to think back. Like, was that the first outro you've ever done?
Nuh-uh. Has it been?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I think off the rip, I just instinctively took over like the both intro and outro.
Because you're used to it.
Yeah.
Because when you would do your streaming.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a little bit more profesh.
I appreciate it. Alright, bye.
Bye.
We're gonna go eat 12 inches.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna deep throat that thing.